This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. 5 topics in about 10 minutes for Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. Topic number 5 today, the Battle of Rafah. Over 1 million Palestinians are crammed into the southern Gaza Strip city of Rafah, waiting for a full-scale offensive by the IDF, with the rest of the Gaza Strip basically in ruins. There's really no place for them to run. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's office said it ordered the army to prepare to evacuate civilians from Rafah. This is, again, a city on the border with Egypt in the far south of the Gaza Strip. About 1 million displaced Palestinians have taken up refuge there, many of them sheltering in tents up against the sea, the border with Egypt, which Egypt, by the way, has reinforced. They have extended the height of the border fence to prevent Palestinians from crossing over. This is ahead of an expected ground operation against the 4 Hamas battalions expected to be in the city. This assault set to escalate substantially. Israeli Channel 13 News reporting that Netanyahu has requested the remobilization of reserve units for this military operation. Israel's military has been dropping leaflets warning civilians to flee Rafah, but again, it's not clear where they can go. Egypt is warning that this offensive could trigger a suspension of the treaty that's kept the peace between Egypt and Israel since 1979. It's not clear whether this is just for public consumption, because there are reports that privately other Arab leaders in the Middle East are telling Israel, do what you've got to do to get rid of Hamas. But obviously there is no love lost between Arabs and Jews, and so publicly these governments can't really say what they think if they want to remain in power. We're hearing the same from the government of Jordan, where King Abdullah has said that Palestinian autonomy is going to be a prerequisite to solving this war and achieving a lasting peace. Again, privately speaking, the Jordanians remember that in 1970, the PLO, led by Yasser Arafat, tried to overthrow King Hussein. Egypt, not really keen on having the Palestinian Arabs back either after the 1973 war. Israel wanted to give Gaza back to Egypt, which had been basically governing the Gaza Strip since 1948, and Egypt didn't want it. So what is reality here? Again, in this information war, it's hard to discern, but Egypt is not really keen on the idea of a flood of Palestinian Arabs crossing into Egyptian territory when this offensive finally takes place. Topic number 4, gunning for Garland. President Joe Biden reportedly fuming mad at his Attorney General Merrick Garland. He's told aides and outside advisors that Garland didn't do enough to sanitize the special counsel's report that I told you about yesterday. Robert Hur, who, by the way, was a Donald Trump appointee, when this news broke last Thursday that he had opted not to file charges against the president, I was like, how could you not? I mean, it's clear that he had these top secret documents in a box in his garage. That's mishandling these documents, which is exactly what former President Trump is being charged with. But he is a Trump appointee, and it's probable that Hur realized he would never get the Attorney General to sign off on actual criminal charges. But his report, which basically says that President Biden is, well, can't be charged because he's too senile to be charged. He's not accountable. Of course, that means that by extension, he's also too senile to serve as president of the United States. Well, Biden and his advisors think that Hur went beyond his purview and was gratuitous and misleading in his descriptions. They think that Garland should have sanitized or edited the report to take out those references, including the descriptions of President Biden's faltering memory, not remembering when he was vice president and when his son Beau died, which is an event that Biden refers to quite often in his public speeches. By the way, interestingly enough, it was announced over the weekend that President Biden is now on TikTok, despite the fact that Biden signed a bill a year ago banning TikTok on all federal devices because of the security threat posed by the Chinese-owned social media app. So on the one hand, he's banned TikTok because it's a security threat. And on the other hand, he's back on TikTok because he thinks, or his advisors think, it will bring in votes. You cannot make this stuff up. Topic number 3, epic debt. Despite surging price inflation. The official reports coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showing that the resilient American consumer continues to spend money, which makes the economy look great. Strong economic growth, we are told. So on the surface, Bidenomics appears to be working. But there is a problem. This spending is being done with credit cards mostly, and Americans are having an increasingly difficult time keeping up with those bills. Household debt rose by another $212 billion in the fourth quarter of last year, surging to a record $17.5 trillion. That is housing debt and non-housing debt combined. Total housing debt has increased $3.4 trillion since the end of 2019. Ballooning credit card balances kind of leading the way there, increasing 4.6% to $1.13 trillion. Again, that's just credit card debt. On an annual basis, credit card balances rose by about $143 billion. The bigger problem here is that with interest rates rising, average credit card interest rates also going up, which means even the same principal, outstanding principal, is now costing more on a monthly basis. American consumers are being squeezed. Average annual percentage rate now, APR on credit cards, runs at 20.75% APR. According to the New York Federal Reserve, delinquencies on every category of debt held by American consumers increased during the fourth quarter. Average delinquency rates, 3.5%, with 8.5% on credit cards, 7.7% auto loans. Transitioning into delinquency. This is the highest delinquency rate, serious delinquency rates, more than 90 days past due, since 2011. Bottom line is this. There is a word for this. That word is unsustainable. Topic number 2, the Disco Cathedral. More than 3,000 people took to the floor for 4 sessions of a silent disco featuring 90s-era music at the Canterbury Cathedral. Canterbury Cathedral. This is as an Archbishop of Canterbury. Sharon and I had the opportunity to visit this back in 2019. It is a magnificent facility that dates back to 597 A.D. The officials in the Church of England hoped this would serve to attract a new generation of worshipers, but no, a lot of people in the COE, which is fairly liberal as a denomination, just really offended. There's a petition describing this event as profane that gathered about 1,700 signatures as of this recording. Now, look, we understand that the building is not the church, but come on. I mean, this is the place where Thomas Becket was martyred in the year 1170. You know, Henry II said, no one rid me of this meddlesome priest, and a few of his aides took him literally and killed Becket in the church. He's buried there, and if it were possible, we suspect that Becket would be spinning in his tomb. Coming up, just 2 more days to take advantage of the early bird discount on Skywatch TV's upcoming virtual conference featuring Tom Horn's last presentation, and some good news if you're married. Happily married. Happily married. Not just a phrase, it is actual science. I'll explain next on 5 and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make you aware of an opportunity to get 3 DVDs right now in the brand new Silent Pandemic collection. Now, this collection includes 3 DVDs. So let's back up just for a second. First, you're going to receive the brand new DVD, Viral Defense, evidence-based methodology for optimizing your immunity against COVID-19, long COVID, spike proteins, and future viral outbreaks, along with the new DVD, Fight Back Against Alzheimer's, Dementia, MCI, and Cognitive Decline. But you're also going to receive the over 5-hour DVD, My Classic Time Bomb, which features off-the-record interviews with professionals in healthcare, Dr. Matthew Sams, Dr. Ralph Umbriaco, Dr. Josh Vance, and contains the original interview with my father from a couple of years ago, where he actually talked about how he reversed his type 2 diabetes with natural supplementation and change to lifestyle. All 3 of these DVDs actually total almost 10 hours for those interested in improving their gut health, their overall immunity, learning how to watch labels and how to better navigate grocery stores, what is going on with spike proteins and shed spike protein residues, all of this anomalistic stuff that's happening out there in the stratosphere. But if you're one who does not have a DVD player, this is something I've learned over the last year or so. There's a lot of people migrating away from DVD. So Skywatch TV is also going to take this occasion to let you know that moving forward, as often as we can, which hopefully is each time we have a guest with a DVD or we put one out ourselves, we're also going to ask you to go to skywatchtv.com/stream for the streaming options. Now, this will get you out of having to pay for shipping. If you're a person who doesn't want the DVD sitting on a shelf somewhere, you're not a collector, you don't need the physical copy, but you want to see the content. So if you want the DVD copies of all three of these right now while supplies last, you can get the Silent Pandemic Collection in physical copy for your donation of $35 plus shipping and handling. But if you want to stream these, go to skywatchtv.com/stream. You will see a couple of different options. First, you can stream just Fight Back Against Alzheimer's for $15, or you can stream the Viral Defense DVD by itself for $20, or you can stream all three, which total the 10 hours that I just mentioned on all of the above, for only $20 right now in a special Silent Pandemic bundle right now.
Item number one today, happily married, not just a turn of phrase. It turns out that old trope by stand-up comics of, the old, grumpy, unhappy married couple is just that. It's a joke. It's not really real. It's a myth. It's almost like marriage is a gift from God, that he designed us to be married. Yes, new research shows by the Institute of Family Studies, after a 15-year study that began in 2008 and ended in 2023, polled more than 2.5 million Americans, comparing relationship status, adults who are married are by far the happiest. This is as determined by how they evaluate their current and future life. Oh, hello, Grace. Grace, the rescue dog. I think she's also happy to be part of a married household. The gap favoring those who are married is consistently large over the entire period surveyed from 2008 to 2023. The bottom line here in all of this is that married people are happier, and not by a little bit. Well, you don't want to miss Skywatch TV's upcoming virtual conference, not just because it features Tom Horn's final presentation recorded last fall before he took ill, but because he's got 24 cutting-edge presenters and access to all 6 Skywatch Films feature-length documentary films. This goes live on the web on February 29th. You get 90 days access to all of these presentations and the documentaries, but if you sign up through Thursday, February 15th, you get $10 off as an early bird discount. Take advantage of that now. DefenderConference.com, DefenderConference.com. This week on Skywatch TV, we talk about long COVID and how you can rid your body of spike proteins. Excuse me, Grace, just give me another couple minutes. Thank you. Joe Artis Horn talking about research that he has done and put together in video form, making available through a series of DVDs. That's the topic this week on Skywatch TV. You can watch the program now, skywatchtv.com, or on our Apple TV or Roku channels. You can catch those. We got information on how to add those to your set-top box at skywatchtv.com. It's also on YouTube, the new channel for the YouTube, or at YouTube for the main program, youtube.com/@skywatchtv now, and of course rumble.com/skywatchtv, and our free mobile app, which bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech. That's the one you want because it guarantees that we will never be canceled. Besides our video content, it also has a calendar of upcoming events, news updates several times a week, and more. And you'll find links to the app stores for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets at our website, skywatchtv.com. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.